hot and stinking mosquitoes trying to get you, and the chiggers and ticks and everything. And in the wintertime, you're so stinking cold, your knuckles, your hands about froze, and you pull something, bust your knuckle on the frame, and we always, there's something we'll complain about. And then in the fall, when it's nice and we want to work on it, who wants to waste time under a car in the fall? I can be hunting. Fish, go fishing or something. But look at here, my friend. We can philosophize all we want to, but this book right here is something that God has put on this earth. And Thomas Jefferson, for all his brilliance, all of his education, all of his multi-faceted fields of study and endeavor, an architect, studied music, he knew history tremendously well, political science. I mean, the guy's brilliant. But a deist? He made a mockery of the Bible. Did you know that? He said it's very easy to refute the Bible. He says some of it tells of Jesus Christ in a masterful way that he was a good doer for mankind, but then some of the rest of the Bible, he said, is so simple and obviously hypocritical and conflicting with what other parts say. He said, I can easily refute it. Well, I wonder what he'd say if you asked him today. For in hell, he's looking up. That's what he's doing. You say, well, I don't believe that. Well, you can believe what you want to, but one day you're going to be in one place or the other, heaven or hell. Now, what do you believe? Come on and convince me. I'm open. I'm wide open. Anybody in here, I'll take you on any day you want to with humility, but we'll go off somewhere in the middle of a field or the woods. I want you to sit down and convince me, bless God, you got a better way than I do. I'm nothing, but you got your hands full. Look, I've been where you are. The only person in here that can say I've not been where they've been is Brother Ralph, because he's older than I am. I'm older than every last one of y'all. And I'm going to tell you something, there is nothing on this earth that you're so cockeyed familiar with and such an expert on that you can just stomp me under the ground, because I know enough about it, and I know enough about this right here. By the grace of God, I know enough about that book right yonder. You're not going to do it. You are not going to stomp me in the ground with that Bible. I'm bragging on God, okay? But bless God, I am zealous for that book. And you know what? I watch people, I've watched them for 41 years. I've been saved 41 years. I have watched people go down the tubes. I've watched people make a mockery of that book, and then I live to see them broken and torn all to pieces. You know, there's a poem that was made into a song called The Touch of the Master's Hand. And I want to memorize the poem. And I have been practicing a little bit on my harmonica. I'm a fool one of these days. Brother Matt, Brother Matt will have them play it just for you. In fact, God might put Brother Matt and me together. I hadn't even talked about it. If he and I got up here and played a song and knocked your socks off, y'all wouldn't believe it, would you? Well, I'm dreaming. But it's possible, is it not possible? And I challenged y'all a while back. I said, how about y'all working on a little musical instrument or something? Come up here and do a song for us. Well, my harmonica, I got two of them, 10 holes. I got one 16-hole with a button on the end. It's called a chromatic, but that's a whole different ballgame. You know, the champion harmonica players of the world, most of them play the diatonic, which is just a little 10-hole harmonica that the 4 holes in the middle is what you play your song on, and you hit these 3 over here on this end and 3 on that end on the high end, the low end over here. You got 3 here, 3 here, 6, and the 4 in the middle, 10, okay? You play that melody here in the middle and you're jumping over there and blocking off holes. I said, I ain't got that figured out, how to do all of that, but I have gotten to where sometimes I can hit the one hole I want to and get a note blowing in or pulling out, and it's been kind of a blessing. Now my family's glad when I go somewhere else and practice Kind of like when Taylor was learning how to yoga. I thought, yeah, you did. And I thought it's impossible. He'll never get it. And I thought, Lord, please spare us. But he got it. I couldn't believe it. And I don't even remember how I got over on that thing right there. Where was it? See, y'all ain't paying attention either.
That poem that touched the master's hand.
Huh?
The poem.
Oh yeah, touching the master's hand. There you go. Thank you. It's about an old violin that was at an auction, and it was all dusty. It had the strings on it. It had 4 strings, but one of them was loose at one end, and the old bow had horsehairs falling off of it. Old auctioneer held it up and said, "Okay, we got this fiddle right here." Said, "Who'll give me $1?" All right, $1. Who'll give me $1? All right, $2. Who'll give me $3? Who'll give me $3? Old man's hand went up in the back of the room. Everybody turned and looked at it. He walked up, shuffled up there to the front, got the old fiddle, took that string and fixed it back on the peg, tuned it a little bit, listened, took the bow, tightened that, fixed that, got the thing, took that thing, put up on his shoulder blade. He played the song, they crying in there, man. Played that song beautiful. He just handed it back to the auctioneer, went back and sat down. Everybody in there just tears all in their eyes. But he said, "Who'll give me $1,000? $2,000, $3,000 That thing sold for $3,000-4,000, and it was going to go for $3 just for that. You know, the poem goes on and says, "And many a man has been auctioned cheap. Many a woman has been auctioned off cheap in a world that didn't appreciate what it could do, or that person could do." You know, each one of y'all, and even as ugly as I am, fat, old, do you know something? It's possible that we'll let God use us, we can be a blessing to somebody. You know that? I was talking to someone the other day, and they were talking about somebody else that both of us knew. And they said that person just thinks they're a has-been. And they don't have any respect for themselves, and they don't think they're of any value. But see, when Christ comes along and you let Christ come into your heart and do something with your life, he does you like that old violin, that old fiddle. He'll tune you up if you're there. And he'll make music with you that without him you couldn't make. And the difference, my friend, is the touch of the master's hand. And that's the name of that poem, the touch of the master's hand. See, every last one of y'all in here, every last one of you, God made you. You say, "Well, I don't like my nose." Well, it's the one God gave you. Try breathing with mine. You won't breathe with mine unless you cut it off, and I'm going to tell you, I'm going to have something to say about that. Suppose God put your nose on upside down. You run around in the thunderstorm and drown. Have to stand on your head to keep from drowning. That'd look pretty silly, wouldn't it? Everything in your pockets fall out on the ground. So what's the matter with you? Well, I didn't like the way God made my nose, so I had a doctor cut it off and sewed it on upside down. And now, every time it rains, and you know, if there's dust in the air, falls down in my nose. You know, God kind of sets you up okay, didn't he? You say, "Yeah, but I don't like it." Well, it's what you are. That's how God made you. You can do like some people, spend millions of bucks getting facelifts and plastic surgery, and guess what? Maggots gonna eat you anyway. So, man, I don't know that I'm so excited about all this here. I'd rather think about something inside a magazine. Well, me too. But the fool has said in his heart there is no God. And you're gonna face God one day. So, let me ask you this. Could you come up here? Maybe not in front of everybody, just start with me. And I'm just remember how dumb I am? Remember I'm just an old dumb, old fat man? All right, I'll take you on, anybody in here. Glory to God. You sit down with me, and I'll take a piece of paper, and you take a piece of paper. And we'll sit across the table, and you write down, and you set in order your philosophy of life. You set in order what you plan to die with. And I'll tell you what, I can go to bed and sleep better than you. If you're attacking that Bible. And if you're attacking what the Bible teaches for your life. You see, you're miserable. You're miserable as long as you're fighting what God would have you to do. You might as well let the Lord tune you up and make music out of you and be a blessing to somebody. You know what? There are instruments that sometimes, I don't know what they call them, but it won't stay in tune. Always get out of tune. There's cars they call lemons. It looks like you never can get it running right. But when the chief mechanic gets a hold of you, buddy, he'll get you running right. Now, look with me please to Psalms 103. Psalms 103, please. And I wanted to read the whole psalm. And Psalm 103.